A black Georgia family is waiting for a three-judge panel to decide whether they can keep their land, which has been in their family for 100 years. The Smith family says the Tarbutton-owned Sandersville Railroad Company wants their property to build a rail spur to haul gravel from a local quarry. In 2024, the Georgia Public Service Commission granted the Tarbutton-owned Sandersville's Road Company eminent domain authority, allowing it to seize private property. Now, the family has been fighting ever since. Adam Mahoney, the climate and environment reporter for Capital B, has been following this story. He joins us right now. Adam, glad to have you here. Walk us through this. This stuff harkens back to slavery Reconstruction days, correct? I can't hear you. You must be on mute. Guys, please check the mics. Are you on mute?
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, this does date back to slavery, specifically in this case, the Benjamin Tarbutton family was the descendants. He is the descendant of one of the largest slave owning families in all of Washington County. His great great grandfather owned over 75 slaves. And the Smith family, who his railroad is now trying to carve through, are descendants of enslaved people in that county. So we're seeing how kind of the power brokers and what is at play does date back to your point, Reconstruction and political clout.
Okay, so this land, how much acreage are we talking about that they're trying to put under eminent domain?
Yeah, so the Smith family, they own 600 acres of land in Middle Georgia. The family has owned the land for 100 years now, and it's deeded to six members of the family, brothers and sisters, who some of which still live on that land. The Sandersville Railroad is attempting to cut through basically the heart of that land that they would only receive about 12 acres through eminent domain, but what it would do would basically shut the family off from the rest of their land. They would have to cross a railroad to get to the other half of their land. And this is a process, like you mentioned, that has been going on since 2023. It was first approved by the Georgia Public Service Commission, is now going through an appeal process through the Fulton County court system.
And what recourse does the family really have? I mean, they're just hoping the court intervenes?
That's pretty much all they have at this point. It is going through its second round of appeals. If it does not get appealed at this level, it can go all the way up to the Georgia Supreme Court or potentially the U.S. Supreme Court. But what this case really hinges on is the aftermath of a 2004 Supreme Court ruling that found states can grant eminent domain to private companies under the guise of quote unquote economic development, even if the economic benefits of the project are not evenly felt or even kind of outlined before that process happens. So what we're seeing here in Georgia is a supposed economic benefit of $1 million a year to this county, Hancock County in rural Georgia. But there's really no proof that that would even come to fruition.
Is the family saying there's an economic cost here? And if so, how much is it?
An economic cost for the family. I mean, there is, but the biggest thing they're standing on is really their rights and dignity. In this pocket of Georgia, the town they live in, Sparta, is the second poorest city of over 1,000 people in Georgia. It's the second blackest city in Georgia, and their family, along with other families who are impacted by this eminent domain case, have fought really hard to have access to ownership of land, and that means something different in a place where you really do. You're either the descendant of slavery or the descendant of a slave owner. That power lies more so kind of in the meaning more than the economic prowess for folks there.
Absolutely. I mean, this is obviously, are there any other families impacted beyond the Smith family?
Yeah, so there are 11 families directly impacted by the eminent domain case, in addition to dozens of other families where the railroad would run directly behind their home. And this is an older community, like I said, on top of it being an impoverished community. So these are a lot of folks they're living on fixed incomes. They don't have the ability to leave, if so, and they would be living in the aftermath of a railroad that would be hauling rocks from a quarry. So that means there would be an environmental impact too in terms of air pollution, and potentially, if there was a derailment or something of that sort, an impact on their water supply.
Gotcha. Any idea when the court is going to rule?
Yesterday, there was a hearing where the three court panel did hear oral arguments from both sides, including the attorneys representing the Smith family and the other families at play, in addition to an attorney representing the Tar Button owned Sandersville Railroad Company. So the next steps in the coming weeks, and another court case date will be put on the books. But as of right now, it's kind of a waiting game for these families as they've been struggling through it over the last couple of years.
Gotcha. All right then. Well, great reporting here. We will continue to look for this and see what happens next.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
All right, folks, go to Capital B to check out their coverage of this. Do y'all have the website pulled up? We should have the site pulled up. So go to Capital B, look at the reporting. This is a black-owned media company, and so it's important for us to support their work. And we talked about that last night, folks. The need to support independent black media, and so that is critically important. So again, if you go to capitalbnews.org, capitalbnews.org, you can certainly support their work. And if you go to their site and then you click the donate button, you will see it right there. And so go to my iPad, you see it right here, and so you can lay out different amounts here. And so again, it's critically important that we support black-owned media doing the type of coverage that you're not seeing anywhere else. And so again, go to capitalbnews.org to support them. We appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Adam.
Thanks for having me.